Hey everybody, Michelle from the library here to tell you about Young Readers' Choice Awards. So some of you may remember last year, myself and another staff member got to come into the schools, but COVID says no thank you to that. So you get to watch us on the big screen like movie stars. Whoa. Some of your teachers may be making you watch this, but I promise you, you will be entertained and you will laugh. You probably, hopefully, won't cry. That would be horrible. So Young Readers' Choice Awards was set up and started in 1940 by Harry Hartman. No relation, unfortunately. That's too bad. He was a Seattle bookseller, and he wanted kids to be able to pick their own books to win awards. So YRCA is sponsored by the Pacific Northwest Library Association, and it is the longest running international Children Book Award, having participants from both the United States and Canada. So, which is totally awesome, right? So basically you guys read the books, either all of them, some of them, whatever, and then you vote, right? And it's great. And then ta-da, there's prizes. There are 3 different categories. There's junior, which is basically grades 4 to 6, and then there is intermediate, which is grades 7 to 9, and then there's senior, which is grade 10 to 12. So we have a couple of different videos that we will send out and with links for them, and we will get started. So we hope you enjoy them, and you can call us with your votes. Hey, okay, here we are. This is our intermediate division. So this is these books are geared towards grades 7 to 9. Again, it doesn't matter the age, whatever age you are, because again, we all read them and thought they were awesome. So this selection of books behind me is amazing. It is awesome. Some of my favorite books are in here. So these books have a girl who sees ghosts, like seriously, sees them, has conversations with them. It's kind of cool. We have a book about twins in a future world, and one maybe doesn't exist. I don't know. You got to read it to find out. We travel to Iran in one of these books, which is cool, right? We have another book about a princess rising from the ashes, and it's not like, it's an awesome book. Like, you want to rally behind that princess. We have Best Friends, and a book all written in like text messages, which is kind of cool. I bet you guys would like that. We have a book about a boy who lives in a van and all of the amazing things that happen to him. We also have some mystery and murder, and then slam poetry. I don't even know what that is, but it's awesome. And here are the ladies to tell you about the books.
Hi, Other Michelle here, and I'm going to talk about the book No Fixed Address by Susan Nielsen. And this is a book about Felix, a little 12-year-old boy, and his mom. And due to various circumstances, they have ended up living in their Westphalia van. And Felix doesn't want anyone to know, in particular, his 2 best friends. And there's all kinds of stuff that happen as a result of that. But the one thing Felix does love is trivia. And his favorite trivia show, is called Who, What, Where, and When. And he watches it all the time. And an opportunity comes up for a junior version of Who, What, Where, When. And he is going to audition, and he really wants to do this because there is a huge prize money, which he thinks will help them get them out of their circumstances of living in a van. However, you're going to have to read the book to find out if that actually happens. Really good book. I really loved it. You will too. Read it.
Hey, Katie here. I'm going to tell you about the book, The Truth as Told by Mason Buttle by Leslie Connor. It is a beautifully crafted story about self-reliance, redemption, and hope. And our character, obviously, Mason Buttle, it really goes through and shows you that the truth is very important, and sticking to your truth is how the story unfolds. And yeah, you will enjoy it. It's definitely a little bit of a mystery, and there's definitely some hard parts to get through about bullying and that, but that's where Mason's resilience comes in, and it's a great book. Okay.
Hey guys, Michelle here. So for my first intermediate book, I am going to tell you about Imposters by Scott Westerfeld. So some of you may have read some of his other stuff, Uglies, Pretties, I can't remember the rest of them. They're very cool books. So Imposters is set, kind of like after Uglies and Pretties happen. It is about twins, Frey and Raffi. Their dad is the king, which is awesome, you would think, right? It's not. Raffi has been brought up to charm and be in the public eye. Frey has been taught to kill, assassinate people, and protect her sister. Most of the kingdom doesn't even know she's alive. They don't know that she exists. So the story kind of follows them together for a little bit, and then the dad, who's a mean king, sends Frey in place of Raffi. So she doesn't know how to charm. She doesn't know how to socialize. She knows how to kill people. And she gets sent to this other kingdom and meets the prince. Guess what happens? You can guess. He figures it out. And then it explodes. It's an amazing book. There's lots of action. There's lots of drama. And you should add it to your pile. Thanks.
Hi, it's Angie. I want to tell you about a book that I just read. It's called To Be Honest, This Is Awkward. And it's by Lisa Greenwald. You'll really like this book. It's a little different. It's about three besties. And the entire book is written through text messages and emails and diary entries. So it's a little different. But in today's age with social media, I think you'd all get a real kick out of it. And the really cool thing is that these girls are struggling to learn that it's okay to make new friends and not lose your old friends. So that's it.
Hi, so I'm here to talk about the next book. It is Darius the Great is Not Okay by Adib Khorram. It's a book about a boy named Darius, obviously, and he never feels like he fits in. And he also calls himself a fractional Persian, which is based on the fact that his mother is from Iran and his father is American. Anyway, he also says that he speaks better Klingon than Farsi. And his life's about to change a little bit because he is going to go to Iran with his family for the first time to meet his grandparents. He's actually met them online, like doing Skype or whatever, but he's never actually met them in person. And the other thing is, Darius has clinical depression. So when his family gets there to Iran, he also meets a new friend. And this is where things start to change. So you're going to have to read the book to find out what else happens. It's a great book. You're really going to like it.
Hi, me again. So my next book is called Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. I love all books that are kind of like dystopia and stuff like that, and that is kind of what this one is about. Takes place in an alternate magical. I also got to pick all the magical books, which was awesome for me. It is about Theodosa. Now, Theodosa is the princess, and unfortunately, the Kaiser invades her kingdom and kills her mother. He keeps her alive, and he takes her name and tells everybody that they are only allowed to call her Ash Princess. She is captive in her own palace for years and years and years. She is not treated very nicely. The Kaiser is not a nice guy. You will not like him from like page 1 that you read about him. But she decides that it is time to rise from the ashes and see if she can get her kingdom back. It is a great book, lots of action, and I suggest you add it to your pile. Thanks.
Hey, I am going to tell you about the book The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. It is her debut novel, and it is written entirely in slam poetry. It is really, really great. I thought it was going to be kind of difficult to read, being in poetry, but it actually kept me going and wanting to read more and more. So it's about a young girl in Harlem who discovers slam poetry, and she uses it to figure out her relationship with her mother and her mother's religion and her relationship in the world. Like, it just helps her discover who she is. Because in a world that may not want to hear what she has to say, she doesn't want to remain silent. So yeah.
Hey, so the third book that I read in the intermediate section is called City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. She is one of my favorite authors. I've read just about everything else that she has read or written, so this was an easy read for me. The story follows Cassidy Blake. Her parents are the inspectors. They travel the world talking about ghosts and ghost stories, and one of her parents believes in ghosts and the other is more science. It's a little awkward for Cassidy because her best friend is Jacob, who's a ghost, which is kind of awesome. So she ends up going to Scotland with her parents to this town that is like super ghosty. It is exciting. It is scary. They're even like, I mean, it's a junior book, and there was a couple times when I was like, oh, I would not want to be down in that tunnel. That's a lot of ghosts. So definitely, if you like a little bit of spook and lots of action, add it to your reading list. Thanks.